Okay, writing expressions 2. 5 plus the product of 4 and x. You have to remember what sum is equal to, what that means. Product, what that means. Plus, what that means. Times, what that means. Quantity, what that means. All these different terms, you need to know what they mean. Okay, so it says 5 plus the product of 4 and x. You can write it 4x plus 5 or the other way around. Now, in con, they're going to give you 4 choices, okay? So you already probably can eliminate one of the possible answers because it doesn't have the 4x plus 5 part. Okay, and then the second part, it says take that quantity. Well, that means take this quantity, 4x plus 5, take that quantity of 2 times that expression. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, and then I'm going to add 8. So the second part is I'm going to multiply it by 2 and then add 8. So that is my expression. Next one. The sum means I'm adding of a negative 8 and the quantity of a negative 9 times x. Negative 9 times x is a negative 9x and a negative 8. It is the sum of that. I could also have a negative 8 plus a negative 9x. Either of those would work. But then on the bottom here it says 6 plus the product of a negative 9 and that expression. I'm doing the product of a negative 9 and that expression. So I'm going to negative 9 times that expression, whichever one I use. I'll use the top one. Okay, so a negative 9 times that expression, and it says 6 plus that. So I'm going to add 6. You could also have, although this isn't one of your choices for the multiple choice over there on your right, you could also have 6 plus a negative 9 times that quantity, but they don't have it written that way, so you don't have to worry about it. Next one. Take the quantity of a negative 6 times x and add a negative 2. Take the quantity of a negative 6 times x and add a negative 2. So a negative 6 times x and then add a negative 2 to this. Okay. It then says in the bottom part, it says the sum of 6 and the product of 4 in that expression. So the product of 4 in that expression would be a negative 6x plus a negative 2. Now in con, it probably, instead of having this, because it doesn't like double signs, it probably just wrote it as a negative 6x minus 2. And we're taking 4 times that expression, and it says the sum of 6 and. So it would then be plus 6, because then sum of 6 means I'm adding 6. The sum, adding, of 7 and the product of a negative 4 and x. So it's the sum of 7. It doesn't matter if I put 7 on the left side or if I put 7 on the right side. It doesn't matter which side I put it on. I just know the way con has their solution set, I'm going to want the 7 there, and the product of a negative 4 and x, so a negative 4x. Now that is the expression we're going to use for the second part. It says a negative 5 plus the quantity of 7 times. 7 times this quantity, a negative 4x plus 7, and we're adding a negative 5. That's the same as subtracting 5. Adding a negative 5 is the same as just subtracting 5. You need to know that. That is the subtraction identity, subtraction rule. All right, let's look at the next one. The sum, adding, of a negative 2 and the product of 5 and x. So that's 5x plus a negative 2, which is the same as subtracting 2. Remember, adding a negative 2 is the same as just subtracting 2. So it's 6 plus the quantity, 9 times that expression. So 9 times that expression, 5x minus 2, and it's 6 plus it, so we have plus 6. A negative 7 plus the product of a negative 3 and x. So negative 3 and x, that product, so that's negative 3 times x, that's negative 3x, plus the product, so we're adding a negative 7. And again, remember, adding a negative 7 is the same as subtracting 7. So we're going to take that quantity of a negative 3 times the expression. So I'm going to take a negative 3 times this expression, negative 3x minus 7, and then I'm going to add a negative 6. And remember, adding a negative 6 is the same as subtracting 6. So take the quantity of a negative 3 times that expression. That is it. Good luck. What happened to my little recorder? There it is.